Ryanair is the worst airline on the planet. As someone who took probably over 50 Ryanair flights over the last few years, it stunned me that one of the biggest airlines in the world and the biggest in Europe clearly is being called as the worst of all. How is that even possible? Or maybe it's just not true? Let's break it down and establish once for all if this is actually a fact. At the end of the video I'll share some secret stuff about Ryanair no one is talking about. Make sure to stay until the very end. There are dozens of videos and articles complaining about Ryanair and its customer service, comfort, hidden costs, badly located airports, and the most popular dangerous and bumpy landings. Without further ado, let's break down these categories and I'll tell you my point of view from my own experience. Hidden cost. This one really gets people triggered, and I've heard about it lots of times that the cost of the flight is actually much higher than the airlines claim, or as it is being searched online. Now, first, let's talk about what is claimed to be hidden costs. Fare, additional luggage, choosing seats, check-in priority, insurance, and also cancelling the flights. Let me walk you through the process of buying a Ryanair flight ticket and comment on each step. After selecting a ticket that you want to buy, a new window pops up to choose a fare of your liking. This is a very popular marketing strategy online to highlight the middle offer to make people buy it. Not very elegant, but it's what usually is being done. You can just select basic, which is for free, and you can also see right away what is included. I think this step is overlooked and many people are just clicking on it without checking what they will get for the price. But you can't complain about that if you don't pay attention what you're buying. Then there's the tricky part, selecting your seat. Right away, Ryanair wants you to add the recommended seats, which are additionally paid. And that one is actually very tricky. It took me some time to find a way of assigning random seats. But since I've read that for basic fare I can select seats, I don't want to select them on my own, I click on select seats later, which actually should be don't select seats at all. And now I can continue with random seat allocation. On the next page you can add luggage, and it's very clear what you'll need to pay additionally for. Pop-up for adding insurance, no thank you. Then priority boarding and insurance, you just skip it if you don't want it and click continue. Then you'd have some extra offers for car rental and hotels, which are very obvious that you'll need to pay for that. Last thing to say would be that these costs are hidden. Now, it took a while and we've cut through the thicket of additional costs, and the final price is the one we've seen at the beginning. Very low, by the way. Can you avoid additional costs? Easy. Are the costs hidden? No, everything that is to be paid is clearly described as such. The one thing that was frustrating was the seat allocation. Wasn't that clear, and to avoid payment you need to really get your brain cells on board. And obviously, Ryanair needs to cut costs to keep the price so low. So sure, if you want to have choice or add luggage, you have to pay for it, but I've traveled countless times with my backpack only and I didn't care about the seat, so I'm glad I have the option to pay less and just travel with the minimum stuff. And if someone tells you that other airlines offer more luggage for free, that's bullshit. That's just included in the ticket price and that's it. My verdict is no hidden costs, but certainly Ryanair wants you to fall into the trap of buying additional services. Second category is food and customer service. First of all, everything you want to eat or drink on board is paid. If you want, they have acceptable, in my opinion, menu and prices if you want to order something. I never really liked food on planes in any airlines I was flying with, so two thoughts about that. Again, Ryanair wants to keep the prices low, so they don't offer free food. Also, other airlines offer a drink and a snack for free. Well, I'd rather have lower prices than a chocolate bar and a juice instead. The other thought is that Ryanair operates in Europe only. That means that the furthest flight takes probably up to 3 to 4 hours, but between most countries you can travel within an hour and a half. It takes longer to get across the city with a subway or a bus. Do you expect free drinks there? Do you really can't survive without food or drinks for 2 hours? If this is the case, take a sandwich with you. Problem solved. About customer service. I never had any issues with the airlines, so I would be dealing with their customer service. When it comes to the onboard check-in or boarding service, I don't have any complaints. People tend to complain about being overly strict on the luggage size and weight. Honestly, if the luggage over 10 kilograms is additional paid, why should they let people fly with the luggage that weighs 11 kilograms? Some might got used to the other airlines' guidelines, which are not that strict, but the rules are clear. If your luggage is too heavy or too big, you'll have to pay for it. Normal stuff. When it comes to flight attendants, for me it's fine. Again, I don't expect some VIP treating when I'm going by bus or train, so why should I in an airplane? My verdict: food and customer service, good enough. I don't need anything more than that. Seats and comfort. There are even jokes about Ryanair that soon they'll have standing places in the planes. Funny, but what if they told you can go for a 1-hour flight for 20 bucks, but you have a standing place? I'd go for it. Nonetheless, sure, there is not enough room for the legs, but there's never enough room to get comfy, no matter the airline. For short flights, there's nothing more I need. Also bear in mind that the more people fit into one airplane, the less CO2 footprint is left per person. And most of all this politics leaves the prices low. And as always, that's the point. One thing I would definitely want to point out is cleanliness. I don't think it's tragic, but definitely could be better. I know that Ryanair's politics is to have round trips with no unnecessary waiting time on the airports, but dirt or food leftovers left from previous flight is just gross. My verdict: it's not a luxury travel, but I can live with it. Unlucky landings. Now this one I've seen so many times. First thing you see when you search for Ryanair or YouTube are those terrifying landings, rocking up and down, left to right, hitting the ground hard, almost as the planes were piloted by Denzel Washington in the movie Flight. Well, he'd do it perfectly, but let's say someone that spent the night just like him before the flight. In my over 50 flights, how many of them had this kind of landing? 0. Before researching for the video, I had no idea this is a thing, but well, my 50-ish in lifetime is nothing, so I might have been lucky, or there's just a specific bad press about Ryanair. Everyone seemed to be laughing at them, their planes, style, selling fragrances and landings. Sure, they were something new among others, let's call it more prestigious airlines. But is it all bad press from the passengers? The truth is, other airlines hate Ryanair. The Irish airline started as a private company flying only short lanes in the British Islands. Within 30 years of existence, they became the largest airline in Europe, overtaking huge companies with long tradition and subsidiaries from the governments like Lufthansa, Air France, KLM or British Airways. And when the crisis came, both in 2008 and recently with the pandemic, they were the only ones remaining profitable and handling the difficult times. That might be one of the reasons why it's so common to hear such bad things about Ryanair. But despite that, they are still flying the largest amount of passengers every year. Why is that? Because they are cheap. Simple as that. And the consumers already decided that they prefer to travel for $100 instead of $500 without free food, free luggage and other unnecessary stuff. Ryanair threw away all crap that airlines used to make us pay for, to let us travel for a decent amount of money. Brilliant politics that showed what the people really want, and actually no one, almost, really cares about uncomfortable seats and so on 2-hour-long flights. So if you've enjoyed the video so far, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll share many more videos about flights and traveling. Now, the last thing that almost no one knows about is the actual performance of Ryanair, the thing that may actually change your mind of the company we're talking about, the hidden gem, the holy grail of airlines. So far you might be thinking we have a shitty airline for cheap, but actually if you want to travel as usual with your huge suitcase and want to choose your seat, what an idea, you have to pay anyway, not that much less. And what do you get? A flight with low performance, bad landings, dangerous. Is it worth a few bucks less? But hear me out, check out those data that actually are game changers. Despite numerous rankings where Ryanair is at the lowest, there is one ranking where they are very strong and pay real attention to it and never want to see savings there, and that's punctuality. Check out these statistics over the years for some airlines including big fishes. The on-time percentage for Air France in 2021 was 81.4%. For Lufthansa, a little bit better, 84.9%, already above EMEA average. EMEA means the region of Europe, Middle East and Africa, which is almost 83%. For British Airways, it's slightly above 88%, and for KLM, it's a great result of 91.3%. What is Ryanair's number with the largest amount of flights of all the others? It's 92.4% of on-time flights, a knockout. So ask yourself what is important for you on short lanes. For me, it's the cost and punctuality. Also safety, but here Ryanair is also very high in all statistics. Not free food or luggage or friendly stuff. They offer the quality for the price no other airline, besides other low costs, is even close to. For me, it's the best airline on the planet without a doubt. and I fly them whenever I can if they have a connection that I need. But what about overseas flights and some longer travels? Make sure to watch my video where I show my step-by-step process for finding the best and cheapest flights. Cheers, safe travels and do zobaczenia.